You're scrolling through another day, thinking about your next meal, your next distraction. But imagine waking up one morning to flowers at your door. Gifts. Whispers that you've been chosen. In the Aztec world, this wasn't a blessing. It was a countdown. And what happened next wasn't just death. It was something slower, something worse. This is the story of the maidens who walked into temples covered in honor and walked out as nothing at all. The year is 1487. The sun rises over Tenochtitlan, the island city of the Aztecs, where pyramids pierce the sky and canals run thick with commerce and ritual. You are 15 years old. Your skin is smooth, your hair black and long. You've done nothing wrong. In fact, you've done everything right. You are beautiful. You are pure. And that is why they've come for you. The priests arrive at dawn. They don't ask. They don't negotiate. Your parents stand silent, tears in their eyes, but they don't resist. To resist is to curse the family. To resist is to invite the gods' wrath upon your village. So they let you go. They dress you in white cotton. They place jade beads around your neck. They tell you this is the highest honor. You were chosen. But chosen for what? You are taken to the temple complex. Not the grand pyramid yet. Not where the crowds gather. You're led to a smaller chamber, one with stone walls that swallow sound. The air smells of copal incense and old blood. You're told to sit. A priestess enters. Her face is painted white. Her eyes are black pits. She speaks softly. She tells you that you will become a bride of the gods, that your sacrifice will bring rain, that your blood will feed the sun. She does not tell you what comes before. If you're starting to feel the weight of what's coming, then you're exactly where you need to be. Hit that subscribe button, because the stories we tell here aren't the ones they wrote in your textbooks. And what happens next will make you question everything you thought you knew about honor. The first week is deception disguised as privilege. You are bathed in sacred water drawn from mountain springs. Your hair is combed with bone instruments. You're given food, rich food, tamales stuffed with turkey, cacao drinks sweetened with honey. You are dressed in embroidered robes. You sleep on woven mats softer than anything you've known. You are told again and again, you are blessed. But you are not alone. There are others. Girls like you. Some younger. Some your age. You see it in their eyes. The confusion. The fear. One girl asks a priestess when they'll go home. The priestess smiles and says nothing. You begin to notice things. The windows are narrow. The doors are always watched. No one leaves. No one visits. Your family is gone. Your friends are gone. The world outside these walls has forgotten you, or been told to. At night, the chanting starts. Deep, rhythmic, endless. It comes from below, from chambers you haven't seen. You lie awake, heart pounding, wondering what's down there. Wondering if you'll be taken there next. On the 8th day, the lessons begin. A priest enters. His skin is stained black with soot and old blood. He carries a stone blade. He does not threaten you with it. He simply places it on the ground in front of you. He tells you that the gods are hungry, that the world is fragile, that the sun dies every night and must be fed to rise again. He tells you that blood is the only currency the gods accept. And then he tells you why you were chosen. Not because you were loved, not because you were special, but because you were perfect, unblemished, a virgin. Your purity makes your blood valuable. Your youth makes your death meaningful. He says this calmly, like a merchant describing grain. You feel your stomach turn. You want to run. But where? The temple complex is vast. The city outside is loyal to the gods. There is no escape. The next phase is worse. You are no longer treated as a bride. You are treated as a vessel. Every morning, you are brought to a chamber where priests inspect you. They check your skin for marks. They examine your teeth. They press their hands against your stomach, your chest, ensuring you haven't been touched, haven't been damaged. You're livestock being appraised. You're cargo being prepared for shipment. And then the fasting begins. You're given less food, then even less. Your body weakens. You feel lightheaded. The priestess tells you this is purification, that the gods prefer an empty vessel, that your hunger is holy. You believe it because you have to, because the alternative is madness. But your mind begins to fracture. You have dreams, dreams of your mother, dreams of running. You wake up sobbing, and the priestess strokes your hair and hums a song you don't recognize. She's kind in a way that makes it worse. Because her kindness is not for you. It's for the ritual. It's to keep you compliant. It's to make sure you don't scream when the time comes. One night, another girl tries to escape. You hear her footsteps in the hallway. You hear her pounding on a door. You hear her screaming. Your arms are held. Your legs are held. You look up at the sun. It burns your eyes. You hear the priest chanting. You hear the crowd roaring. And then you feel it. The blade. Cold. Sharp. Fast. But not fast enough. Your chest is opened. Your heart is pulled free. You are still alive when it happens. Still conscious. Still feeling. The last thing you see is your own heart beating in the priest's hands, offered to the sky. And the crowd cheers louder. This is what the Aztecs called honor. This is what they carved into stone and sang about in temples. They built an empire on this. A civilization celebrated for its art, its astronomy, its architecture. But underneath all of it was this. The slow dismantling of girls who had no choice. The industrial-scale conversion of life into ideology. History professors call it religion. Anthropologists call it culture. But strip away the rituals, strip away the murals and the chants, and what you're left with is systemic horror. Young women selected for their powerlessness. Isolated, starved, drugged, psychologically destroyed, and then killed in front of a crowd that called it sacred. The Aztec Empire justified this with cosmology. They said the sun would die without blood, that the earth would crack, that chaos would swallow the world. And so the maidens had to die, not quickly, not mercifully, but slowly, publicly, and beautifully, because the performance mattered as much as the death. And here's the worst part. It worked. For centuries, it worked. The maidens went to their deaths. The crowds cheered. The priests grew powerful. And no one stopped it. Not because they couldn't, but because they believed, or because they were too afraid to stop believing. It wasn't the Spanish who ended the sacrifices. It was the collapse of belief itself. When the conquistadors arrived and the gods didn't strike them down, when the temples burned and the sun still rose, the entire system revealed itself for what it always was. A lie. A brutal, efficient lie that consumed thousands of lives to sustain the power of a few. But the maidens are still gone. Their names erased. Their voices were lost. What remains are the stones, the murals, the codices that describe the rituals in detail but never mention the fear, the pain, the silent screaming that must have echoed in those temple chambers night after night. You just witnessed a story that textbooks gloss over, a truth that's uncomfortable, disturbing, and real. If this is the kind of history you want more of, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Because we're not done digging. There are more stories like this. Darker ones. Hidden ones. And I'll keep bringing them to you. Drop a comment and let me know what you think. Should we remember this history or let it stay buried? I'll see you in the next one. If you can handle it. You already know the beginning. The selection. The flowers. The false honor. Now you're about to see what happened in the days they never speak about. The days where time itself became a weapon. The temple complex is not one building. It's a maze. Stone corridors that twist and turn. Chambers stacked on chambers. You've been moved 3 times now. Each room is smaller than the last. Each one farther from sunlight. You're losing track of time. There are no windows here. No way to know if it's dawn or dusk. The priests control everything. Even time. In this new chamber, you're not alone. There are 5 other girls. You're all the same age, more or less. You're all dressed the same, fed the same, taught the same. The priests are creating uniformity, erasing individuality. You're not a person anymore. You're a type, a role, a function. The girl beside you is named Xochitl. She tells you this one night when the priestess isn't listening. She whispers it like a secret, like saying her name out loud is rebellion. You whisper yours back. For a moment, you're human again. For a moment, you exist outside the ritual. But Xochitl stops whispering after that. Her eyes go distant. She stops responding when you try to speak to her. You realize she's doing what you'll have to do eventually. She's disappearing into herself, building walls inside her mind, protecting whatever small piece of her soul is left. The priests bring in a new elder, A woman this time. She's different from the others. Her voice is softer. Her hands are gentler. She sits with you and the other girls and tells you stories. Stories of past maidens. Girls who walked into the sun with smiles on their faces. Girls who were so honored, so grateful, that they sang as they died. You want to call it a lie, but the way she tells it, the detail, the conviction, makes you wonder. Were there really girls who believed? Who wanted this? Or is this just another layer of control, making you think that acceptance is possible? That peace is an option. She teaches you prayers. Long, complex prayers in a dialect you barely understand. You made to repeat them, over and over, hours at a time, until the words lose meaning, until they're just sounds, until your mind goes blank and the words pour out automatically. This is the goal, to make you a machine, a sacred machine, one that performs its function without thought, without resistance. One afternoon, you're taken to a bathhouse. It's underground. The water is warm, almost hot. Steam rises in thick clouds. You and the other girls are scrubbed, not gently. The priestesses use rough stones, brushes made from cactus fiber. Your skin turns red. It stings, but you don't complain. Complaining is a weakness. Weakness is failure. After the bath, you're oiled. The oil smells like flowers, but underneath there's something else. Something medicinal. Your skin absorbs it. You feel a tingling sensation. Then numbness. Your body feels distant, like it belongs to someone else. You're dressed in a new garment. This one is lighter, almost transparent. You feel exposed, vulnerable. You're led into another chamber. This one has mirrors, polished obsidian. You're made to stand in front of them, to look at yourself. The priestess stands behind you. She whispers, "This is who you are now. This is your true form." You look at the girl in the mirror. She's pale, thin. Her eyes are empty. You don't recognize her. And that's the point. The psychological breaking is methodical. Every day, they take a little more. Your name, your memories, your sense of self. They replace it with the role. The maiden, the chosen one, the sacrifice. There are moments when you try to hold on. You think about your mother's face, the sound of her laugh, the way your father used to lift you when you were small. But the memories are fading, like dreams you can't quite hold on to. The drugs they give you don't just numb your body. They cloud your mind, make everything soft, make resistance feel impossible. Xochitl stops eating. She just sits, staring at the wall. The priestess tries to feed her, forces the spoon to her lips. But Xochitl won't open her mouth. After 2 days, the priests took her away. You never see her again. You want to ask what happened, but you already know, and asking makes it real. So you stay silent. Another girl is brought in to replace her. This one is younger, maybe 12. She cries constantly. The priestess slaps her. Not hard, just enough. The girl stops crying. She learns fast. You're taught songs now. Songs of devotion. Songs of surrender. The melodies are haunting. Beautiful even. You sing them during the day. You hear them in your sleep. They burrow into your brain. Become the soundtrack of your existence. At night, the drumming starts again. Louder this time. Closer. You can feel it in your chest. In your bones. It's not just sound. It's a vibration. It shakes something loose inside you. Makes you feel like you're already falling. The priest with the black-stained skin returns. He brings the blade again. But this time, he makes you hold it. Feel its weight. Run your finger along the edge. It's sharper than anything you've ever touched. He tells you this blade is sacred, that it's been used 1,000 times, that it will be used 1,000 more times. He's desensitizing you, making the instrument of your death familiar, making it normal. You're taken outside for the first time in weeks. But it's not freedom. You're led to a courtyard. The sun is blinding. You squint. Your legs are weak. You almost fall. The priests hold you up. In the courtyard, there's a group of people, nobles, richly dressed. They're here to see you, to inspect the offerings. You're paraded in front of them. They nod approvingly. One man reaches out and touches your hair. You flinch. He smiles. To him, you're an object, a thing, a commodity. This is another layer of the ritual. Public validation. The people must see, must approve, must participate. It spreads the responsibility, makes everyone complicit, so no one can say they didn't know. Back in your chamber, you overhear 2 priests talking. They're discussing the ceremony. the timing, the weather. They're worried it might rain. Rain would ruin the spectacle. They talk about you like you're a prop, a piece of scenery, not a person. You feel something crack inside you. Not anger. Anger requires energy. This is something colder. Resignation. Acceptance. You're too tired to fight, too broken to care. The younger girl asks you a question one night. Does it hurt? She whispers. You don't know how to answer. You don't know if she's asking about now or later, about the slow death or the fast one. So you just hold her hand. It's the only comfort you can offer. The final preparations begin. You're painted again. This time, the designs are more intricate. They cover your entire body. Each symbol has meaning. You don't know what they mean. The priests don't explain. You're a canvas. They're the artists. Your input isn't required. You're given a headdress. It's heavy, made of feathers and gold. It presses down on your skull, makes your neck ache, but you're told you'll wear it during the ceremony, that it marks you as chosen, as special. You're also given jewelry, jade, turquoise, obsidian. It's beautiful, expensive, but it's also a chain, a symbol of ownership. You belong to the gods now, and the gods, conveniently, speak through the priests. There's a rehearsal. Yes, a rehearsal. They walk you through the steps, where to stand, how to kneel, when to lower your head. They practice on you like you're an actor in a play. Except this play ends with your death. The high priest corrects your posture. Straighter, he says. The crowd must see you clearly. You adjust. He nods. Good. Remember, you're not afraid. You are honored. You repeat the words. I am honored. But you don't believe them. Neither does he. But belief isn't the point. Performance is. One of the older priests takes you aside. He's kinder than the others. Or at least, he pretends to be. He tells you that some maidens are given a gift. A final mercy. If you're good, if you perform well during the rehearsals, they'll give you extra medicine before the ceremony. Enough to make you unconscious. Enough so you won't feel it. It's a lie. You know it's a lie, but it's a seductive lie. And you're so tired, so broken, that you almost want to believe it. The days blur together. You're no longer counting. Time has lost meaning. There's only before and after. And the after is coming soon. You're visited by a holy woman. She's not a priestess. She's something else. A seer, maybe. She looks at you for a long time. Then she says, you'll be remembered. You want to ask how? As what? But she's already gone. The other girls are quiet now. No one speaks. No one cries. You're all ghosts. Walking, breathing, but not living. The night before the ceremony, you're kept awake again. But this time it's different. You're given a drink, stronger than before. Your vision swims. The walls melt. You see things that aren't there. Faces in the stone, voices in the smoke. You're hallucinating. They're breaking the last barrier. The barrier between reality and ritual, between self and sacrifice. When dawn comes, you don't feel it. You're beyond feeling. You're floating, detached. You watch yourself being dressed, being painted, being led, and somewhere deep inside, the girl you used to be is screaming. But no one hears her, not even you. The morning of the ceremony is chaos pretending to be ordered. The temple complex is alive with movement. Priests rush from chamber to chamber. Offerings are arranged. Incense is lit in giant braziers. The smoke is so thick it's hard to breathe. But you're beyond caring. You're beyond everything. You and the other remaining girls, there are 3 of you now, are brought to a central chamber. This one is large, ornate. The walls are covered in murals of gods. Gods with animal heads. Gods with exposed ribs. Gods dripping blood. You're made to kneel in front of a statue. It's Huitzilopochtli, the war god, the sun god, the one who demands the most blood. The high priest enters. He's dressed in full ceremonial garb now. Feathers cascade down his back. His face is painted in red and black. He looks like a god himself, or a demon. The line between the two is thin here. He chants. The words are old, older than the empire, older than the city. They vibrate through the stone, through your bones. You feel them in your teeth. One by one, you're blessed. He places his hand on your head. Press down, hard, like he's pushing something into you, or pushing something out. You feel dizzy. The drugs are reaching their peak. The world tilts. You struggle to stay upright. You're each given a final drink. This one is different. It's thick, almost solid. You gag on it, but you swallow. You have to. The priests are watching. Within minutes, the numbness spreads. Your limbs feel heavy. Your mind feels light. You're floating inside a body that no longer belongs to you. You watch your hands move, but you don't remember telling them to. You're a passenger now, just along for the ride. The three of you are let out, not through the corridors, through a tunnel. It's narrow, dark. You have to walk in single file. The walls are wet. They smell like earth and decay. You realize you're walking through the underworld. Symbolically, at least, you're already dead. This walk is just a formality. You emerge at the base of the Great Pyramid. The sun is blinding. The crowd is deafening. Thousands of people, maybe tens of thousands. They're packed into the plaza. They're on rooftops. They're hanging from scaffolding. Everyone wants to see. You're at the center of the empire, the center of the world, and you're about to be erased. The pyramid rises in front of you. It's steep. The steps are narrow. You've seen it from a distance before. But now, standing at its base, it looks impossible. Like a mountain. Like the sky itself. You're given a moment. The priests arrange you. Adjust your headdress. Smooth your robe. Make sure you look perfect. Because the crowd is watching. And the crowd must believe. Then the climb begins. Each step is agony. Your legs are weak from weeks of fasting. Your head is spinning from the drugs. But the priests are behind you, guiding you, holding you up when you stumble. They can't let you fall, can't let you crawl. You must walk. You must appear willing. The crowd chants your name, or the name they've given you. You don't recognize it. It sounds like a title, not a person. You are the Maiden of the Sun, the Bride of Rain, the Chosen One. You are a symbol, not a girl. Halfway up, one of the other girls collapses. Her legs give out. The priests grab her, lift her, carry her the rest of the way. The crowd's chant falters. This isn't supposed to happen. The illusion cracks for a moment, but the drums get louder. The priests chant harder, and the crowd follows along. The moment passes. You keep climbing. One step, then another, then another. You don't think so. You can't think. You just move. Automatic. Mechanical. The machine they built. At the top, the wind hits you. It's strong. Cold. You're above the city now. Above the world. The plaza below looks like a sea of faces. The canals glitter. The other pyramids rise like teeth. It's beautiful. You think that despite everything. It's beautiful. The altar is in the center of the platform. It's made of stone. Smooth. Worn. Stained black with old blood. Your blood will add to it. Layer upon layer. Century upon century. The high priest is waiting. There are other priests too. 6 of them. They're positioned around the altar. Each one has a role. Each one knows exactly what to do. They've done this hundreds of times. You're guided forward. Your legs are shaking. Not from fear. From exhaustion. From the drugs. From the weeks of breaking. You're a shell. And shells don't feel fear. The crowd below is silent now. Watching. Waiting. You're positioned in front of the altar. The priest speaks. His voice carries across the plaza. He's not speaking to you. He's speaking to them. Explaining why this is necessary. Why you're honored. Why do the gods demand this? He talks about the sun. About how it fights the darkness every night. About how it needs strength. Needs blood. Your blood. He makes it sound logical. Inevitable. Natural. And the crowd believes him. Or they pretend to. Because if they don't believe, then they're monsters. And no one wants to be a monster. You're laid on the altar. It's cold. Even through the drugs, you feel that. Cold stone against your back. The sky above you. Blue. Endless. Your arms are held. Your legs are held. 4 priests. 1 for each limb. You couldn't move if you wanted to. But you don't want to. You don't want anything anymore. The high priest raises the blade. It catches the light. Flashes. The crowd gasps. This is the moment they came for. The moment of transformation. Of sacrifice. Of myth becoming real. He chants. One final prayer. You don't understand the words. But you hear your name. Your real name. The one you were born with. The one you almost forgot. He says it once. Then it's gone. Swallowed by the ritual. The blade comes down. You feel pressure. Then heat. Then everything at once. Your chest is opened. You're still conscious. Still aware. The drugs kept you awake for this. Keep you present. Because the gods demand a living sacrifice. A beating heart. He reaches in. You feel it. Feel his hand inside you. Feel him gripping, pulling. Your heart resists. For a moment, it holds on. Your body's final rebellion. But then it gives. It always gives. He lifts it. Your heart, still beating, still alive. He holds it toward the sun. The crowd roars. The drums explode. The world is noise and light and blood. You see it. Your own heart, beating in his hands. 3 times. 4 times. 5. And then it stops. And so do you. Your body is pushed. It rolls down the pyramid steps. Tumbles. Breaks. By the time it reaches the bottom, it's not a body anymore. It's a message. A warning. A promise. This is what the gods require. This is what the empire demands. The crowd begins to disperse. The spectacle is over. They'll talk about it over meals. They'll tell their children. They'll remember it as a good ceremony. A proper one. The maiden was beautiful. The priest was skilled. The gods are pleased. Your body is collected. Take it to a pit. There are others there. Dozens. Maybe hundreds. Bones and flesh and feathers. The remains of the chosen. The honor. Blessed. You're dumped in. Forgotten. Your name is gone. Your face is gone. Your life is gone. What remains is the story. And the story is a lie. Because you were never willing, never honored, never blessed. You were a girl, a child, a human being, and you were destroyed. Slowly, methodically, cruelly, by a system that called it sacred. The Aztecs built temples to house this horror. They wrote songs to celebrate it. They trained priests to perfect it. And they convinced themselves, convinced their people, that it was necessary. That the sun would die without it. That the world would end. But the sun didn't die. The world didn't end. The Aztecs did. Their empire crumbled. Their temples fell. Their gods were forgotten. And the maidens, the thousands of maidens who died on those altars, were erased from history. Reduced to statistics. To footnotes. To vague mentions in colonial records. But they were real. They had names. They had families. They had futures. And all of it was taken. Not quickly. Not mercifully. But slowly, over weeks, with psychological torture disguised as preparation, with drugs disguised as blessings, with murder disguised as honor. This is the story they don't tell, the story of the days before the blade, the story of the chambers and the chants and the slow erasure of self, the story of how a civilization turned girls into symbols and called it religion. And here's the question no one asks. How many people knew? How many parents handed over their daughters knowing what would happen? How many priests went home at night and slept soundly? How many nobles watched the ceremonies and felt nothing? How many people in that crowd looked away? The answer is all of them, because that's how these systems work. They distribute the guilt so widely that no one feels responsible. They dress the horror in ritual so no one has to see it clearly. They call it tradition, culture, religion. And once it's wrapped in those words, it becomes untouchable. The Aztec Empire fell centuries ago, but the mechanisms they used, the psychological tools, the strategies of control, those didn't die. They just evolved, changed shape, found new names, and the maidens are still silent, still waiting for someone to tell their story. Not the sanitized version, not the one that makes it sound mystical or mysterious, but the real one. The one that makes you uncomfortable. The one that makes you ask how humans could do this to each other. This is that story. And now you know. If you made it this far, you're not here for easy answers or comfortable history. You're here for the truth. And the truth is ugly. Subscribe if you want more of it. Hit the bell. Share this with someone who needs to see it. And let me know in the comments. Do we have the right to judge the Aztecs? Or are we just as blind to the horrors in our own world? Drop your thoughts below. I'll see you in the next one. If you're ready,